e te iwi.
The undisputed
through the eyes of a killer, I'm born again. Believe in a sinner that will never mend. Love is always grimmer through the eyes of a killer. Through the eyes of a killer, I'm born again. Now fate is a blessing to the ones who wrong. From the Garden of Eden, what have we become? We've all been withered through the eyes of a killer. Through the eyes of a killer, we're born again. Oh God, and the things I've done. Fire rain and the darkness is one. Thank God for the things I've done. Fire rain and the darkness is one. Through the eyes of a killer, no more salvation, only damnation. I see the world through the eyes of a killer. 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 Through the eyes of a killer.
Kia ora e te iwi no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky, ko Ravinda Huni a tōku ingoa. Joining me for some chat today, UFC lightweight Dan Hooker. Kia ora e hoa.
Looking forward to it.
Look, hey, we both attended the Stealth Fighters League fight night on Saturday night. Great night. But there was one interesting thing that popped up in terms of the co-main event, and that was swords.
It was a medieval battle.
Medieval
they were
battle.
like full knighted up, swords out, full armour head to toe. I loved it. Yeah, my opinion of it, I thought it was like, I can gauge the impact of a punch, and they were just whamming each other, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, the low kicks are nice. He's feeding them straight rights down the pipe. And at the end of the day, it's entertainment, and it was a nice surprise, and I was highly entertained. I'm definitely on board. It was something new. It was something fresh, especially like SFL. Like, they're doing a great job in terms of production and show-wise. They're attempting to put on entire top to bottom pro cards, which is something that needs to be encouraged in the country. So, you know, you can have all the amateur fight nights in the world that you want, but if you want to see New Zealand fighters fighting on the elite stage at the highest level in the UFC on Contender Series, then these guys need to be building pro records. So to have that, we need these full pro cards that are really going to be enable guys to build their pro records.
Yeah, and of course they announced that their next card, August 30th, down in Christchurch, which we're guessing your boy Fergus is probably going to be front row centre.
Pretty major, Fergus Jenkins got a pretty incredible win. Now 3-0 in middleweight. It's very tough to find this boy matchups as he's a former amateur world champion. But yeah, Fergus, the future Jenkins is definitely the future, and he's obviously hails from Christchurch. So I'd expect to see him probably headlining that card down there and making a bit of noise.
Yeah, exactly. It will be interesting to see what happens. We don't have too many of cards of this calibre down there in Christchurch. We know that there's a lot of activity down there, though. We know, your coach, Coach Hostile, is down there. We have Matt Tor and the Hammerhead whānau down there as well. But what does the MMA scene look like down in the South Island?
Oh, it's huge. It's a huge scene down there. Matt Tor in Dunedin, he puts on some of the biggest shows in the country, and Hammerhead MMA. XFC. He's been running some pretty major events. I know he's been like shifting gyms around, so put the promoting side of things on hold for a while. But the need in the MMA scene is absolutely enormous. Christchurch, it's huge, and I feel like this is going to turn a real spotlight to it, because I feel like not a lot of fighters from down that end of the country get opportunities to fly up to Auckland and fight and showcase their skills. So I feel like SFL going down to Christchurch is like turning a huge light on the scene down there, and it's a huge opportunity for fighters down there to make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
So get the training, boys.
Yeah, get the training, and for once you can save a bit of money, don't have to pay for to travel to Auckland. You can fight in your own backyard. But yes, exciting times ahead, and of course we also have Shuriken coming up June the 7th, which will be the next major Auckland event. So keep your calendar. We'll be promoting it on this show anyway, so stay tuned to that. Anyway, whānau, this weekend UFC 315, Jack Della, Maddalena looking to get the strap from Belal Muhammad. We had a little bit of a chat about this last week. I didn't actually ask for your prediction and how you thought this fight was going to go in terms of a result, but how do you see this fight going?
Yeah, definitely, boxing advantage to Jack here in this. I think he's got a huge opportunity. I'm leaning towards Jack, in all honesty. I feel like his takedown defense is great. We've seen him choke out Craig Jones. I wanted to ask Belal Muhammad about that and ask him if he felt like it was a little bit of gamesmanship, or if he genuinely thinks that Jack's that deadly of a submission threat. But I feel like he has the counter wrestling to shut down. Belal's great at what he does, but it's a very stock standard game. I just feel like Jack is hungry. He's been sitting out for a long time, and I feel like he's able to stop the offensive wrestling of Muhammad and outbox him on the feet.
Absolutely. Well, we had the pleasure of catching up with both these gentlemen. Well, I got the pleasure of doing it. They're over in Canada, so time's a little crazy in terms of the time difference, but I got to speak to both of these gentlemen to get their thoughts ahead of UFC 315. First of all, settling in Montreal, Canada. So, a fight camp that has been probably a little bit different in terms of your career, training this time as a champion. How has it all been going for you?
Business as usual. It felt good. Great camp. It was another camp where I just had to push myself. I had to push myself harder than the last one, right? The key for me was not settling and not getting comfortable being the champion.
Wow, talk to us a little bit more about that, because complacency can be, an easy thing to just fall into naturally without really realizing it. But talk, maybe explain why that was important for you to take that, aspect of it.
Because I had to change my mindset. It wasn't that now we're the champion, now we can take it easy or we could go lighter. I had to look at it like, remember how hard it was for you to get there. Remember how hard it was for you to get your spot, to win your fight, to the hunger that you had as a challenger. For me, I've seen so many champions make it there, then all of a sudden they get comfortable and they start losing. A lot of fighters get comfortable, they start losing. So the key in this game is to keep evolving, keep growing, and keep getting better. And I had to keep that same mindset for this camp.
And unfortunately for you, you had to watch, champions come and go in that style, because it just seemed like you were never getting your chance to battle for the title. So was it like a little bit frustrating going, man, you're sitting in that seat, what are you doing with it?
Yeah, exactly, right. It was hard for me now. So now for me, even now when people keep asking me, does Jack deserve the title shot or this? I'm a champion that's going to fight everybody. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say you need more followers or you need more this or that. I'm like, how many fights did you want? Are you on a good streak? Let's go.
Yeah, you've absolutely done the work, improved every opportunity to be there. And obviously, Jack Della's kind of gone down the same track too. And a lot of people were surprised to see him getting this opportunity, considering Shevchenko was obviously next in line to face you. But what were your thoughts when Jack Della's name was, the opponent for you?
I was surprised, but with Shevchenko got injured, there was not a lot of guys on a big streak. I think he had the best streak, the best resume coming up. And for me, it made sense, right? Another guy with double-digit winning streak, that's cool with me. Let me take it.
And what do you make of Jack Della as a fighter and his journey through the UFC?
He's tough. He has good hands, good striking. He shows a lot of heart in his fights, and he got sophisticated striking. So I'm excited to be in there with him and show him what I got in my hands.
I did watch an interview of you saying that, you know, it's not just defending the title. It's like you're fighting for the title again, that you're trying to win a second title. So talk to us about that mindset and, you know, knowing that you want to be a long reigning champion, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not defending, right? We're both, either one of us go on with the title. It's like with NFL and Super Bowls. You know, every year there's a new champion. Every fight is your toughest fight. Your next fight is your toughest fight, your strongest fight. Your next fight is always your title fight, because one loss will put you back 2 to 3 years. So for me, I got to come in here with the mindset of a challenger. I got to come in there with the mindset of I'm still chasing this goal. I'm still chasing this goal, and I'm not going to stop until I get it.
How has this time as champion been, though? That, you know, although that this is your mindset going into this fight, this was a mountain that you wanted to climb first to get the opportunity, then to win it, and now you're doing what you're doing. You know, how has it been since finally reaching that goal of becoming the champion?
It's been amazing. You know, more so now my family's getting, my coaches are getting the credit they deserve. My family's getting talked about more. So, like, I'm excited for them to see their happiness. For me, there's nothing really changed, right? I'm still driving the same car, still wearing the same clothes. But now I'm just getting more respect.
Absolutely. And what do you want to put on display this weekend? What is something that perhaps you've been getting ready for that we might not have seen before?
I keep saying it, Canelo hands. I'm going to show that I'm the best boxer in the welterweight division. I'm going to show the world that when they think about me, I want them to think, what's next? What else can he do? He does it all. He says it all. And he always walks the walk. So I plan on doing that again Saturday night.
Nice. I just had one question from UFC lightweight Dan Hooker, who's obviously from down here in New Zealand as well. He wanted to know what you thought of that video going viral of JDM and Craig Jones, and what you made of that video.
That was a terrible acting job from both of them. Like, it's always funny, right? But like I said, Craig Jones is a character. You know that he's going to bring something to the camp, so it's fun. But please try it on me. Let's see what happens.
Nice one. Look, thank you so much for your time, Belal, and thank you. After all the technical difficulties, we were actually able to have a chat. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Jack, welcome back to UFC on Sky.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Talk to us about how this fight has come about.
I was at the time I was in Sydney. We were doing a media run, and then my manager, Tim, I think Hunter called him, basically told him the Shevchenko was out of the fight and they could be looking to rearrange some things, but then just had to sit on it for a week. But then it's basically said that, yeah, they're looking at putting you in there. So, yeah, it was an easy yes for me. It's obviously something I've been working for, and it's always something I knew. Opportunities like this, this sport this is what it's about. It's jumping on opportunities. And so, yeah, ready to take it on with both hands and bring the belt home.
Absolutely. And the beauty of this is that it's not, too short notice. I know you've had a camp getting ready for Leon Edwards, but you're in fight camp. So talk about preparations now and what happens, because you're at the end basically of one fight camp and then you're stepping into the next.
But I mean, it is what it is. I was feeling fit. I was ready to go. Definitely a different sort of opponent, but it's just a matter of I just took a week to slow training back down a little bit and just recover from the hard training that I had and then just get back into it. But feeling good. Obviously different sort of opponents or different strategy involved, but something I've always prepared for fighting grapplers. Below someone I've always believed I could beat. So it's just about taking on the opportunity and doing my job.
Amazing. Look, I've been reading the headlines. Obviously, newspapers are going crazy, especially in New Zealand and Australia. And they're talking about how you're this unlikely opponent for Belal. But looking at, your journey through the UFC, 17-fight winning streak, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Getting that win over Kevin Holland, proving yourself even more so against Gilbert Burns. Was it a no-brainer for you that, yeah, of course it should be me?
Well, to be fair, it doesn't really matter. I feel like you can give it to anyone, and you can give it to anyone. But like, my job is just like, I'm not going to say, oh, I don't know if I deserve this. But if they think I'm the one to take it, then absolutely, I'll take it, and I'll just. And now I've just got it doesn't really matter what everyone thinks. It's more just about. I've got the opportunity now, so it's everything I've wanted, and now it's just a matter of getting the win and then leaving no doubt.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your vision for the title. Obviously, it's every UFC fighter's dream to not just fight and compete for the title, but to win it. So, what have your thoughts been over the last couple of fights, beating these big names, knowing that this was just a matter of time?
Yeah, it's always been my goal, and I've always thought it's just a matter of time, and I've always just taken one fight after the next, trying to get better, trying to fight better people, trying to climb the ladder. And yeah, the fight with Leon, it was the last step, but then got the call up that step being taken away, and it was right there. So yeah, I'm not really shocked, but I'm just ready to take the opportunity.
Nice. And you did mention that you feel you can beat Belal. What is it in that, belief that you feel that you have the skills to get the better of a fighter like Belal, especially considering, the work that he did to get the bout in the first place?
Yeah, he's obviously done well. He's beaten everyone that they put in front of him, basically. He's lost a couple of fights, but he's redeemed, I think, every fight he's lost in the UFC. So he's definitely a hard man to beat, but I feel like I can outclass him on the feet, and then he will try and take me down, but I believe I can get back to my feet and get back to where I have the strong advantage.
People who have doubted you in the past, you've proven them wrong and then some. So it's so exciting to see this. When the news dropped, everyone saw the Alexander Volkanovski news and they were like, whoa, he's fighting Diego Lopez. That's huge. It's not Ilia Topuria. Then your news dropped like soon after that and everyone was like, what is going on?
Volkanovski versus Lopez, headlining a badass. Belal Muhammad, his first title defense against, what was I just talking about? Number 4 ranked Jack Della Maddalena.
Wait.
We tried multiple times. Monon's healthy again.
Wait, Jack's fighting Belal? Is that what I just heard? Jack's fighting Belal for the belt.
Yeah.
So talk about, your friends and your family must be reacting to this news now, also excited for you. How have they responded to this news?
Yeah, stoked. It was pretty. Yeah, I knew this was the way it was going to pan out. I was just trying to not tell anyone and just keep. I didn't want to tell the world and then it not actually come through. So I just told my close friends, and then obviously everyone that I've got a lot of support here and a lot of people that have always believed in me. So just when they found out, they were like, it was just nice to. But this is just an opportunity, so it's a matter of what I can do with it. But yeah, I'm very blessed and the support's been pretty cool. But I've got a lot of supporters and a lot of people that believed I'd get here. So it's just a matter of going in there and then proving them right.
Absolutely. And of course, big spotlight on Australian MMA once again with these two big announcements for you and Alex. But, for you to get this chance in the welterweight division is history, for Australian MMA. How does that sit with you? Yeah,
it's awesome. Be the first welterweight. Yeah, so we're slowly taking over weight classes. But there hasn't even been even an ANZAC welterweight. No. So, and welterweights are pretty, obviously, it's a division I've always looked up to, and there's been some legendary welterweight champions in the past. So just to join them is pretty exciting. But I do believe I can. This belt, this isn't the end goal for me. I do believe I'm going to win this belt, and I do believe there's winnable fights for me in the future. So I'm excited to see how it all comes through.
Nice one. Look, I'll leave you to it for now, but congratulations on this announcement, Jack. Personally, I'm not surprised you got the call up, but so very excited to see what you can do come May, and hopefully we'll chat again before then.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a good one.
Well, joining us today is the Flyweight champion, Valentina Shevchenko. Hello, kia ora, and welcome to the show, Valentina.
Thank you so much. Feeling amazing before the fight.
Nice. Well, you look happy. You look chill. What is it like on the ground over there? It's not yet fight week, but, how are you finding it so far?
Getting closer. It's like all the hard work, all the hard sparrings. It's already almost done. Tomorrow is the last day of the super hard trainings. And then fight week, it's kind of like going a slowly direction, but more like focusing on the proper nutrition, weight cut, and media obligations. Yeah, but it's kind of like everything. We know the schedule. We know how it works. And just adjusting for everything, but waiting before the fight.
Nice. And what does a last hard training look like? What do you need to do?
Oh, it's more like about to feel the feeling of the sparring, to feel the feeling of the opponent, make sure that like 5 rounds you breathe all the 5 rounds even more. It's kind of like last touch ups because the major work it's already done, and just make sure that physical and mental shape it's still there.
Nice. Look, you spoke about you've been here before, you've prepared for title fights before. You have had many title fights. How much does your experience come into this? Considering, you know, Manon Fiorot doesn't have the experience that you do, but how much of an advantage is that experience for you?
Everything, it's like every single fight, every single title defense, it's adding more experience, more and more, especially being in martial arts for so long time. And I feel like every single fight I kind of like becoming more stronger and stronger. Compare myself to a few years ago, it's completely different fighter. I feel faster, stronger, I have more power and definitely experience. And I think this is all factors, not just one, but combining all of them. It's what helping to actually get the victory.
Let's talk about that experience, because this year in December, I believe, will be 10 years of you being in the UFC, which is amazing for any UFC fighter, let alone one of our women, getting this opportunity to be in for so long. But, you know, when you think back to these big fights, when you've faced countless former champions, you've faced, you know, Juliana Pena, current bantamweight champion, you fought her as well. Do you ever think back about that and go, yeah, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be and 10 years on and I'm a champion?
Definitely not looking back, not looking and thinking about what it's because I'm an active fighter. When you are reflecting on your achievements, it's mostly for the people who are already done with their career and they are kind of like opening new chapter in their life, and the sport, like active sport, it's something they already kind of like less worry about. But for me, it's live in the exact moment. It's moving constantly forward, every time forward. I cannot just stop and reflect on the past. I have to every time thinking about present and focus on the future. But most important, the present, because like active fighter, professional fighter has to live in this moment right now, not tomorrow, not yesterday. It's all about exactly take this feeling on the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree with you there. And we can see that in your fighting. When you come up against, you know, the likes of Alexa Grasso, 3 fights, you had to adjust. She was the new wave of fighter coming through. Manon Fiorot is the new wave of fighter coming through too. But your 10 years of experience means you have to adjust to this new wave of fighter coming through. So how, you know, exciting is it or motivating is it for you to keep having to adapt to these new fighters that keep coming through, coming for your crown?
It's not about adjust for the new coming fighters. It's adjust for every fighter because every single fight you have to actually think about their tactics, their strategy, and take having in your possession right amount of weapons, like strategies, all techniques. It's give you permission, and like it's you have enough weapons to choose what to use against this opponent or another opponent. And Manon Fiorot, she's probably, I would not say that she's kind of like new wave of fighters, because we kind of like very similar on the age with her. We have just slightly little difference. That's why it's not that young fighters who grew up doing mixed martial arts right away. So it's kind of like it's but still dangerous opponent, still good opponent, and has like it took during the training camp, all the preparation what I have, we took it very seriously, as we are taken before every single fight.
Absolutely, and she deserves that respect. She's undefeated in the UFC so far, and I think the one thing that you think about with Manon Fiorot is that size and how she likes to, you know, kind of bully her opponents and use that size to her advantage. How have you best prepared for that aspect of the fight?
cannot say that she's that huge, that big, or the size, vice versa. Yeah, maybe like between the seasons, she's kind of like bigger a little bit, not that much, but I would not say that she's bigger than Amanda or bigger than Holly Holm. No, I had experience to fight the bigger opponents, and I say that probably she's smaller than all of them.
Look, talking about, you know, the likes of Holly Holm, Amanda Nunes, obviously in the bantamweight division, is the flyweight division a place where you want to stay? I know that there are, you know, these other fighters coming through. There's plenty of competition to come. I think Rose Namajunas has a fight coming up in June. You know, there's a possibility there to take on the winner of that fight, but there's also Juliana Pena fighting Kayla Harrison in the near future. You know, what excites you about the future? Because I know that you'll want to keep evolving. And now, you know, nearly 10 years, you'd probably be looking to cement your legacy as well.
I say that why I have to think and consider any other weight classes, because all of the fighters from like strawweight or bantamweight, they are going into flyweight. So it's kind of like doesn't make any sense because everyone ended up fighting in flyweights.
Oh, fair enough. Well, if they come to you, that makes life a lot easier for you.
Yeah, definitely. And especially considering that flyweight, it's very my natural weight class. So not struggling cutting weight, not being like smaller opponent, a smaller fighter as when I fought in bantamweight. So I feel very comfortable to be here.
Nice. And finally, before I let you go, Valentina, watching you get that win over Alexa Grasso and in such, you know, dominant style, what was that feeling like for you? Because we know you work so very hard to not just compete, but be, you know, the best in the world. And then after, you know, that long journey with Alexa Grasso to get that belt back around your waist, what was that feeling like for you?
Actually, I feel that it would end on in our second fight if everyone does their job correctly. But it's kind of like things that sometimes fighter has to go through. And like in the second fight, I win the fight, but they give a draw decision, and only this was the reason why we had the third fight. So that's kind of like I knew that. In the third fight, I had to do just not commit any mistake. It's like not give any chance to the other people do their job wrong. Just like make sure they do everything right. So I did everything with no mistakes.
There was no dispute in that last fight. So congratulations again. Look, Valentina, thank you so much for your time. Can't wait to see you back in action again at UFC 315. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good night.
Joining us now is UFC Flyweight and contending for the title this weekend, Manon Fiorot. Welcome to the show, Manon. Exciting week ahead for you.
Merci, oui.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely really happy to be there and follow the process. And yeah, hope to arrive quickly to Saturday evening.
Absolutely. Look, you've had a great run so far in the UFC, undefeated 7-0. How does it feel to finally get your shot at the title?
Je suis contente d'avoir enfin ce combat. Ça a été compliqué.
Yeah, happy to have this fight. Very long journey with the UFC, some victories, some dead fights, some big injuries. But it is what it is, and now I get the fight.
How did you feel when this was proposed to you? Obviously, you're working towards an eventual title fight, but once the UFC said you're going to be fighting for the title, how did you react to that?
J'étais juste soulagée et voilà, je sais que je le méritais, donc je pensais l'avoir.
Yeah, hard time. I know I deserve it, but when I got it, and yeah, I'm so happy and I say, oh God, I have it.
And look, Valentina Shevchenko, very tough opponent. She's been in the UFC 10 years this year, been around for a long time. What do you make of her as an opponent?
Je suis très contente et honorée de l'affronter. Pour moi, c'est le meilleur combat que je pouvais avoir pour l'instant.
Proud and I think I'm honored to get this fight, and I think the best fact to have the belt and can say I'm the champion is to beat Valentina. So she's a legend, I know it, she's the champion, and now we'll have to fight together.
How much of this is about the mindset? I know you've had your fights in the UFC before, but the first time fighting for a title, does that shift at all, especially considering the amount of attention that comes on a title fight?
Non, ça me met pas.
No, to be honest, I don't have any more pressure like another fight. I think it's my place, I deserve it, and I just follow the process.
And of course, French MMA fighters coming out of France right now are doing very, very well. I remember Imavov just getting that win over Israel Adesanya. Cyril Gane has had a lot of success in the UFC as well. And now here you are making history yourself for French fighters.
Oui, je pense que en fait les Français là, on est vraiment sur une bonne lancée en plus. Il y a Nassour Dinimao derrière.
Definitely, French MMA is doing well. It's new sport for us. Was legal in 2020. So when I see Nassourdine Imavov behind me and Cyril Gane do great fight, I think the French MMA doing great and is very tough right now.
Exactly, and you are only adding to that for sure. So don't leave yourself short of that list. But what can we expect to see this weekend, Manon? I know it's such a huge opportunity for you this weekend.
Un combat vraiment engagé, beaucoup.
Yeah, definitely a big war. I want to show my skills and my conditioning and my cardio. So yeah, I want to finish that fight and my best fight in the UFC for sure.
Nice one. Well, all the very best for this weekend, and us here in New Zealand will be watching, tuning in.
Thank you. Bye.
Also featuring at UFC 315 on Sunday is our very own Navajo Stirling. Dan, obviously, you know Navajo quite well, being a teammate of his, but, what an opportunity for Navajo to again, get better, climb, learn, and do all these great things that he's doing in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm unbeaten in the UFC, and obviously a huge opportunity. This is the way that it works. You'll get yourself on an Apex card on a fight night, prelims, and then once you main event one of those cards, then you get an opportunity to fight on a pay-per-view. And so Navajo finds himself here on the prelims of a pay-per-view. You get that and you work your way into the main card. So it's another step in the right direction for Navajo. Obviously unbeaten in his career thus far. And just the road to the top 10 to the top 15 at light heavyweight is a short road. There's not many guys in the division. So a couple more wins and would see Navajo battling it out for a ranked position.
Absolutely. What do you make of him as a training partner from what you see in the gym or even training with him?
Yeah, sky's the limit for Navajo Stirling. Obviously, athletically, the guy's an absolute freak. The sky is the absolute limit. Knockout power, he's a great wrestler. Also has pretty phenomenal grappling skills. He's a very well-rounded. Got it on the third attempt.
We'll get there.
But yeah, seeing him compete with obviously Carlos Olberg, who's at the top of that division, he's right up there with the best.
Nice. Well, exciting times ahead, and we got to chat with Navajo before the big event. Here he is over in Montreal, Canada. Kia ora, Nav. Welcome back to the show. You've landed, ready to go for the weekend ahead.
Yes, kia ora. Thanks for having me once again. It's been a pretty good trip. I come in a little bit earlier than I did last time, so yeah, I'm settled in.
You look like it. There's some pics of you up training, hitting pads and whatnot. You look more than ready to go at the moment. How are you feeling? Because we know that at this time you're weight cutting and all these other things are happening as well.
Yeah, I'm strong and I'm feeling really strong. Like I went all in on the conditioning in camp to make sure my body was prepared, and yeah, I've kind of gotten better and better at mastering the weight cut and managing my body so that I make weight very efficiently. And because I've been fighting so often, last year I had 4 fights in 7 months. I had to make weight as well, and I feel like every time I journaled those down and made sure it was easier every time.
2 UFC fights, 2 big trips as well. How much does the travel come into it when you're trying to make weight?
Yeah, it comes in for sure. I know I can do it, and I know some things sort of suck water loading on the plane and stuff sometimes. But I never let anything, no matter what stress are going on, I never let it affect my performance. I always say no rituals, and I'll show up on any given day and perform. And I've held that true to myself, so that any situation that may appear, I'm going to perform no matter what. I won't let that infiltrate my mind, you know.
Well, I know us mere mortals, when we're sitting on a plane and it's hours, man, the only thing you can do is watch movies and have snacks. So how much self-discipline do you need when you're on the plane and getting a bit bored?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I can just chill out, and yeah, I'm pretty, I like that. It's a bit peaceful for me, to be honest.
Nice. Well, now you're over there getting settled, you know, you're in the environment that you're going to be in when you fight. How much of a, you know, not a reality check, but, you know, how real does it feel now to be there on the ground getting ready for fight number 2 in the UFC?
Yeah, I'm at home now. Like, I'm at home. I feel really, yeah, like I'm meant to be here, and that I feel like a veteran in that sense now. I'm just so used to fighting on the road, and just from my previous 4 fights, and yeah, I've gotten comfortable with it, and yeah, nothing's gonna stop me from. I'm just enjoying the week, enjoying the fight week, and just soaking it up, because these times I'm gonna look back on these times and be like, man, what a life that was, you know, on the come up, you know, that the dream is in the journey. So that's what I say to myself.
I love that for you. Have you been to the stadium yet, or the arena where you'll be fighting?
Yeah, I've just been outside and just had a look around, but I haven't actually been inside the arena. So looking forward to that. We'll probably check that out at the ceremonials, and yeah, I can't wait for that.
Cool. And who's all over there with you?
So we got Mike, Eugene, which are the people you probably know.
Cool. Look, just a quick little chat about your opponent, Ivan Erslan, who is, you know, he's one fight deep in the UFC also, didn't get the result that he wanted. But what are you expecting? What competition are you expecting this weekend?
Yeah, I'm expecting, you know, a guy fighting for his contract in there, someone who's going to put it all on the line for this one fight. I think coming in as like an more older opponent and losing that debut, it's probably not a good look to lose again. So, you know, he's probably feeling the pressure, but, you know, the more pressure, the more scared you are, the more harder you're going to come out. And, you know, I've just got to be prepared for that, shut down that momentum, stick to my game plan and stay long, and, yeah, really pick this guy apart. He's got 3 times my experience, very heavy puncher, first round, like 10 first-round knockouts out of 14 wins. So, yeah, it's like a dangerous matchup, but it makes for the best dance partner, because he's going to be there to hit, and he's going to hit me back, and we're going to see a fight, you know, a fight. That's what we want to see, is good matchup.
I was going to say, you wouldn't want it any other way. Now, you just, before I let you go, you were saying that when you get to Canada or Montreal, everyone's talking French and you're going around saying kia ora to everyone. Don't stop that, okay? Spread the good word.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Well, Nev,
it's quite a hard case to seeing some of the faces, but it just puts me at ease, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you said, you're home now.
Yeah.
Oh, kia ora, kia koe, and thank you so much for your time, Navajo. All the very best for this weekend, and of course, we're all supporting you from back here in Aotearoa.
Thank you. Kia ora.
Okay, whānau, so we're tuning in. UFC 315 goes down this Sunday. Head over to Sky Arena or Sky Sport now to purchase that pay-per-view. The prelims, which will be featuring Navajo Stirling, starts at midday. The main card kicks off at 2 p.m. when you can watch our ANZACs in action. Dan, where will you be watching the fights this weekend?
No beers for me. I've got surgery on Monday.
There you go.
So it's not going to be the most entertaining.
It's a quiet one.
We've got a quiet fight card.
Maybe some cheese and crackers, I don't know.
Yes, I don't know what you do. Just sit there like a regular guy.
Jeepers. Well, all the best though for surgery.
Thank you.
Hoping everything goes well. It will, but
it will.
Kapai, here we go. The roller coaster.
I'm chopping
continues.
the finger off. If it doesn't go well, I don't even need it.
Stupid. Haven't used it for this long, so
just
it's fine.
tape it in a fist.
Okay, whānau. Again, UFC 315 this Sunday. Do not miss it, and we'll be back next week. Hei kōna mai.